Hello, everyone. Better late than never. We were blessed with the rain right around the time that I was getting ready to start. The rain started to come around 8 p.m. and it was just nice and easy, and then it kind of like it went on and it got a little harder. And for tonight we have pretty much of a very serious topic, so I didn't really want to come and have to battle with the heavens. First and foremost, I want to let you know just a few announcements before we start off this topic, this discussion, that last week I was on my YouTube page and I had an amazing time with my followers. So if you want to catch the live that I did, you are welcome to go on the YouTube, Daisy Love 83. I will probably connect with my followers on YouTube probably again maybe twice this month. So usually it's just very different than the Instagram page. So if you want to learn more, or if you want to join YouTube, go right ahead and join YouTube. I usually always write on the community section. It's a lot easier to connect with people over there, so you might want to do so. The second thing I want to let you know that I am really honored, excited and happy to be launching my second event pertaining to Haiti that will take place on December 17th, 2022 around 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. I will be we will probably start around like 6:30, chats and giggles and just connect with each other. It is going to be a live event. It is going to be via Zoom. I did it last year. It was phenomenal. So the registration will open on November 18, 2022. So you will have access to the tickets around November 18. And also, I'm thinking that this time around the event might just have a limited space. I kind of want to just have it for a number of space available. I'm not so sure how many, but it's just I don't believe that I will have it for a very, very large crowd. So first comes, first serve. If this is an event that you feel like you really want to be a part of, definitely be part of the very first people who are going to purchase your ticket. Your ticket comes with a PDF book where you will have mostly any information pertaining to Haiti. During this event, I will be discussing with you agricultural reform. We will be discussing business and politics. We'll discuss real estate. We'll discuss the underworld. We'll discuss so many more that usually I am unable to bring forth to the general public. So as the day is approaching, I will definitely give more information pertaining to the event. Stay tuned for that. Thank you so much. Now for tonight, it is pretty much of a serious topic. I usually do that if you are a follower from my YouTube channel, or if you are not, I usually always like to project Haiti, see where the winds is going to take us, and I've done so in the past. And this time around, I've already projected the in the next 10 years starting in 2019. So if you really want to have access to that video, you can go ahead over on my YouTube page. I have a video. It is called Haiti in the Next 10 Years. That video is amazing. I still use it as today as my blueprint. Sometimes I just shook myself with some of these information, but just go ahead and watch it. I think I had a video on Haiti 2020, but for now we are going to be analyzing Haiti between the year of 2023 all the way till the year of 2030. This is the year that we are going to analyze. I'm just going to, hi Miriam, how are you doing, my love? Hi. Thank you so much for being here. I'm a little late, but thank you so much for coming by. I appreciate you. So we're going to see exactly where and how Haiti is going to fall. Now, remember that these videos are strictly from my intuition. It's just usually how I analyze and how I predict what could happen for Haiti. And, you know, I just kind of like love to see where it's going to take us. Now, as I said to people, for the purpose of people's mental space, when it comes to the year 2023, I don't believe that I'm going to be very in depth with what I'm sensing, just so that I don't spread fear out there. You know, I don't like to spread fear. But let's start right now, and let's talk about the current status of Haiti as we are closing down 2022. As we are closing down 2022, Haiti is really, thank you, okay, my love, Haiti is really in a state of non-operational. Last year, December 2021, although we didn't have this entire shutdown, but I'm not surprised with what's going on now, because last year, December 2021, there was nothing happening here. And I believe that I shared it with my platform on my YouTube. I was saying how, you know, usually Haiti is the type of a country that around December, this is where you really see a lot of festivities. People really go out of their way to have a very good time. It's usually one of the time in the country where people are coming down. You know, people want to visit. You know, people would just want to be around their families. So last year in December 2021, something that I found that was very strange happened, which is that the majority of the live bands who usually come to play here in the country were playing next door. So the majority of the bands were playing over in the Dominican Republic. There was absolutely no festivities for us here in Haiti. Even the people who were trying their best, right, to have something for Haiti, they ended up turning in. I'm not so sure if they had better offers. Of course, the country was grim. But that was really one of the years where I started to question the relationship that the Dominican Republic had with Haiti. I really started to question how the majority of the Haitians, the majority of the bands, the majority of what was taking place in the country was actually happening next door. And there were still people here, right? Even when the situation was grim, I had a December here in Haiti, and I would have loved to have any festivities. But what you had was people who were unable to have any type of festivities here in the country. They ended up leaving. So that was last year, right? Last December. Fast forward to now, we are already in the month of November. Haiti is non-operational. The schools, let me go. Let's go in the summertime. We're gonna get into, hey Nikki, how are you? We're gonna get into, I'm so happy to see you. Thank you so much for being here. I'm so late. Thank you. So let's go into July, right? Let's go into July. So July was, I knew that the school were not going to be able to open. July, the country was barely operating. You know, there was no, we've discussed before the exchange rate with the money here in Haiti, and how they always, you know, make sure that the rate is compared to the American dollar, which is very crazy, right? So around July, the dollar was going up and up and up. It was not stopping. We were pushing August. The dollar was still rising. What does that mean? So the people of Haiti were sitting here and were wondering to themselves, how are we going to put our kids to school with the money that is skyrocketed? Because one thing that you need to remember, if you go back to my past videos here on this channel, you're going to remember that I've said this to you. Whenever the dollar goes up, everything goes up. When it comes to the food, when it comes to everything goes up. Whenever the dollar goes up, everything goes up. So now, technically, school was supposed to open in September 5th, if my memory is correct. But like I said to you, July the dollar is going up, so that means that everything is rising. And in August, the dollar is going up and everything is rising. By late or mid-August, the Haitian government comes out with a communicate. They come out with how do you say this thing in English? They just want to say something. And what did they say? They pushed down the date. They said that school was unable to open in September and that they were working on this and this and that. So now they said that they wanted the school to be open October 3rd. They felt that people didn't have any money. They felt that parents could not bring forth the equipment, like prepare their kids to go to school. But you say all this, and then after they said this, within a week, I'm not so, these guys, listen, these guys, I've always said this to you. I am the last person who knows about economic. The last, but it's just basic. This is just to show you how these people, they don't know how to operate a country. So I'm not so sure if it's the members of the government who communicated with the bank system. Automatically after that, that little note came out that school had to be open in October, the dollar went down. The dollar went down significantly. Right? So I'm not so sure if it's the prime minister, if it's who talked to the bank people and we're like, okay, we need for you to do something to put the dollar up so that people can, start going shopping for their kids. You don't run a country like that. Economy doesn't run like that. It's what you produce. So even when you go to the banks and you tell the banks that we need for you to put the rates down, it just doesn't work like this. It doesn't work like this. So anyways, so we're in September, right? So after that note comes out, the dollar goes down, right? The dollar goes down quite just a little. Yeah, it goes down a little significantly. And certain things in the supermarket started to go down, such as milk, oil, so cooking oil, little products like that started to go down. So people started to feel a little bit more relief. People were like, oh, this is going down, this is going down. But I didn't want to get involved into it because I knew it was just a mockery, guys. Okay, it's just kind of like, it's just a mockery. Okay, you do not do business like that. You do not conduct economy like that. It's just basic. Okay, so people started to be happy. Even I remember my mother had to purchase cooking oils, a lot more because the way the dollar was going and was rising, it's like if you had to get something that day, you were better off to get two, because it was so expensive at the rate that the country was operating. So anywho, now we're in late September, so school is supposed to be open in October. But mind you, between the time that the dollar went down all the way to, I'm gonna say, late September, of course, the dollar started to go back up and things and products started to go back up. What else started to happen? You still had the phenomenon of the people not being able to conduct business and coming here. You still had the gangs who were at the major central points that I've spoke to you about. That's what we have. So we're still in September. So, people who had to come sell their goods, they were still unable to make it. So, This is the country that we have in September. This is the country that we have in September. A non-operational country, to the point where the government had to say that we have to push school forward, to the point where he had to speak to the bank people and say, okay, we need for you to go down in the exchange rate. Even with that, by the end of September, so he said that in the beginning of September, and people started to, breathe a little bit better. Well, the Haitian people, because I knew it was just not gonna work, right? And then what you had was, by the end of September, you still had the money, the American dollar, who went up. So you still had products who went up, and you still had the gangs who was, definitely dictating how things were done, and you had people who were unable to come and sell their goods. So of course, things started to go up. And what do they do? What do they do? So you have all these things that are happening in a country that is non-operational. They triple the price of the gas. That's what happened by the end of September. The Prime Minister came out with a note stating that the gas had to go up. But I believe that the price was 200 good for 1 gallon. I think that was the price. He put the price at 500 and change good. So that's like 300 more good for 1 gallon. And the population went crazy. They went crazy. They shut it down, and they said, we do not want this to continue. Since this is how you want to do your thing, we need for you to get out, because it doesn't seem like you're okay. It doesn't seem that you fit to run the country. How about you get the hell out? So they literally locked the country. It was unexpected. And mind you, we were sitting at home going on 2 weeks, and we didn't know, because they literally went, it was just complete shutdown. And it's really sad, because I think that for the past 3 years, Haiti has been going into these madness with the gas, with whenever it's going up, and then they just take onto the street and they're just literally mad. Now, guys, I believe that as people who are public servant, these people, see, this is politician in general, okay? Politician in general. When you are in a position of public servant, I don't understand that these people are not understanding that being a president of a country, being a senator, a deputy, having these roles, you are of service to the population. You are of service to the population, meaning everything that you do, you really have to report to the population. You don't report to yourself. You report to the population. I've literally just brushed off. I brushed off because I didn't go into the whole insecurity. I just brushed off what happened in the summertime. So you mean to tell me that as a prime minister, you have nobody? You have no, listen, myself with the youth agency, there's board members. Everything that I do, every project that I decide to come out, I consult with people, and I actually have to listen to them. And even when I feel like, no, I really want to do that, I gotta listen to everybody. If everybody outvote me, then guess what? I can't do it. System of check and balance. So let's take away all of that. So this guy, the guy who holds the seat as a, mind you, I don't know none of them. I don't know their name. I don't know what the hell they look like. I told you I'm tapped out of their bullshit. Totally tapped out of their bullshit. But since we're moving into 2023, I still want to bring forth to you the madness of this country. So he means to tell me that even with his good judgment, You don't have any sound judgment to understand that the country is already non-operational. You literally have a country that is non-operational to the point where you had to push school 1 month because of the condition. And what do? You triple the price of the fucking gas. So you literally got people who want your head on a silver platter. That's the situation that we have here. And there's no gas. So when I say there is no gas, I overheard that they have the gas, but now you have the gangs that are handling business. So you have the gangs that are dictating what's next, what they need to do. So this is the current state of Haiti as we enter the beautiful month of November. And what do I predict? I predict that this country is gonna go down into madness, into very much so emptiness. Haiti is already in the pit. It's just not gonna get any better, to say the least. What you had by the time that these guys closed down the country, so you had the population who said, and it wasn't only here in Port-au-Prince. Yes, it is. Yes, we're non-operational, my love. Nothing is open. Even if you wanted a bakery, you wouldn't be able to find a bakery because there's no gas. School is not open. Still not open. The pumps are not open. The population see now they pissed the population so bad that in the beginning they were saying that he needed to put down the price. So now they're saying fuck it, you need to get out. So we don't even want you to go down with the price. We actually don't want you here. We want you to get out. We want you to leave, right? So what you had when this whole shutdown happened, you had after 2 weeks, you had a lot of insecurity. That's what you had. You had people who were getting shot left and right. You had the gangs that was all around this goddamn city. You had the kidnapping that was just going crazy. The streets of Port-au-Prince were empty. Okay, we were all, and gunshots were everywhere. Even if I wanted to, there was no way that I would have been able to be online because at night it was filled with gunshots, right? That's what we had moving into October. So after that, they realized that people were actually suffering because we were sitting here and nobody could do anything. So they started to allow us, the population, to have 2 days. So they would allow people to actually go to the supermarket between Friday and Sunday. They would say, okay, go ahead, go about your day, go get water, go get what you need to put in, because after that we're locking shit down. Nobody's gonna be able to come out. And mind you, this has been going on for some time now in Haiti. It's not new. When I came to Haiti, I've experienced my first shutdown on February 2019, which is why I always said thank God that I came to Haiti in December 2018, because by late February moving into March, Haiti internationally was on a red alert, meaning that in order to travel to Haiti, if you were a foreign person or if you carried, a different passport, if you were coming down to Haiti, you had to state the reason that you were coming down to Haiti. So I would have probably not been at ease to come down to Haiti around January, February 2019, which is usually how I used to do it, right? So thank God that I listened to my intuition in December 2019 when I came quickly to Haiti. Okay, so now this is the situation that we're having now, right? We still have a situation where by 6 p.m. you really don't find anyone on the streets. Everybody wants to leave. The insecurity is still very much prevalent. These days, we're not in my neighborhood. I've not heard a lot of gunshots. However, this morning I was speaking to one of my cousins who told me that she literally almost had a heart attack. She has three children. She said there were gunshots all around her. What does that do? I had so many people who have their parents that are elderly who checked in hospitals that are not even working because older people, they cannot take the pressure anymore. It is mentally, physically draining for people, right? Not only to have to deal with the insecurity, the atrocity. I'm not going to mention certain things that have been happening to this country. I'm very mindful of people's mental health, but let's just say that these guys are just out there. They don't care anymore, right? They do not care. So you have elderly people who are afraid. You have elderly people that are stressed out. You have elderly people that they feel a particular, they feel a particular way. So what you have elderly people who are now suffering from hypertension, elderly people that their blood sugar are going up. And guess what, guys? The majority of the doctors are not even here in this country anymore because you have people that just cannot take it. They are fleeing. So if you happen to have to drive someone to the hospital, first of all, where are you going to take that person? Because the majority of the hospital here in this country, especially in the city, in Port-au-Prince, they are closed down. They are non-operational. Now, if you happen to find one, are you going to find a doctor? At what time do you have to take that person in? I cannot imagine the life of some people. And usually a very dear friend of mine had to take his mother the other day to the hospital, and I was glued to the phone with him. We were glued to the phone, and then finally they went to 3 different hospitals with mom, and then finally they found a doctor, and I think she's back home. What's going on with mom? Stressed, hypertension, all this madness, right? So now you still have the same thing happening. I don't listen to their bullshit, so I can't really tell you what they got going on. I do believe that I overheard that they were supposed to call back the United Nations to come here to this country. Needless to tell you that the international community is a little bit tightened. You guys understand that there are the midterm elections going in the United States. Russia is currently dealing with Ukraine, so they're looking at this shit like, oh my god. And Russia is winning, even though they're saying that Russia is not. That's not the truth. You got China in the back end, that is Taiwan, that is already positioned and waiting for Haiti to have a government, so they have their eyes on it like heck no. And you have these guys here that are terrorizing the population, that are doing any and everything because they know for a fact that whoever is part of the Haitian government, they currently don't really have the support of the Americans. So now they have more power. Why do they have more power? Where the hell did these kids get all these guns? We've talked about that. You should hear them. I mean, we have not heard them, but at night I usually, sit right back and I'll just relax, and I'm like, what type of guns? You hear all type of guns. And let's not forget that the people who have access to these weapons are young kids. They are not mature people. There are a lot of them don't even know how to shoot. So a lot of times you actually get people who die from bullets that just flies anywhere. So you have young kids that turns into thugs. So they have weapons and they feel empowered. They feel empowered. Imagine you've always felt like you had no type of power. Nobody looked at you in life. So now you have automatic weapon, silencer, all type of weapon at your disposal. So you really feel like a fucking god. I always, people always feel like don't go out, but I always say like if I had to see one of these kids out in the street with this gun, I would have whooped their ass like nobody. I swear I would have. I don't know what would have been their reaction, but how can I fear a young child with a semi-automatic weapon that feels empowered, that has been, whoever gave them the gun, you don't know what type of psychological damage that they've done into these kids, and now you have these kids that have these guns and they really feel like they are the laws. The police are non-existent. A lot of them also, they don't have the weapon, they don't have the equipment that these guys have. They don't, so they are afraid for their lives. The majority of the people that are police officers, if they're not crooked, they don't really want to get up and look forward to go to work because they already know that it might just be their last day. This is what we have here in November, and you still have difficulties for people to come and bring their products. When it comes to the supermarket, guys, I really don't want to tell you. I don't know how these people price their goods at this point. I ask myself if they feel like just because the situation is like this, that they have to give us anything in terms of like pricing, right? So this is what we have in November. We are just starting November. I do not predict that moving into December things are gonna get any better. They're not. It's a situation, it's kind of like, what's the word for it? It's a situation that lost control. It's just, there's no control at this point. There's no control. In a way, people criticize the current government for asking for the United Nations to come down here to Haiti to lend their support. How do I feel about that? Well, I feel two ways about that. The first way is that I feel like you've made your bed, now you have to lay in it. But in another way, some of these guys are well protected with their security guards, with the support of the United States government and Canada and the other guys. They're still very much protected. But who is suffering? It is still the day-to-day citizens. It is still us that are affected with the situation. So if this guy is saying, listen, I'm really stranded right now, I don't have a way out, and I kind of need the support of the international community, I have to say, well, maybe the situation is above them now. So we're in it for the fact that, see, if the people who had the guns, they knew how to organize themselves, if they knew how to really organize themselves, if they had someone who could teach them how to organize, so they were not terrorizing the population, they were not killing the population, because it's one thing to feel like you've had enough of a government and you want them out and you strategizing yourself to move them out, but it's a whole nother thing to open the can of worms for an avalanche of insecurity into a population, to, kill people for no apparent reason, to terrorize people and have people leave the country. So, so to me, they are not really organized, the gangs. They don't really know. This whole shooting is just, that's not how you go about it. If you want the government to be, you gotta refocus yourself, because what happens next is that maybe the United Nations will come and you guys will be getting dealt with. You guys cannot outdo military guys that are trained to kill, because if you have another force of military who comes to the territory, these guys are just kids that are shooting. They're very unorganized. They don't know how to retreat, so they're not. So if a force comes in, the majority of them are going to die. The majority of them are going to die, if not most of them are going to die, right? So in that sense, when these guys are saying to the international community, hey, we're kind of strained in Haiti, the situation is above us, then perhaps the international community should look into it, because I don't know what these kids are doing. Maybe quite frankly, guys, the situation is above everyone. There is absolutely no place that is safe in Port-au-Prince anymore. Haiti has never been a country that had gangs in it. We had, back in the days when I was growing up as a kid, we had something that was called the Zenglendo. Zenglendo were people who would come in the middle of the night, with guns. You always had these things, love. Of course, you always had. And then it turned later down. It turned to the whole kidnapping that took a totally different turn, that became very money driven, right? And now you just have a total loss of control. Because it's kind of like, as I've said to the people where I was speaking to on my YouTube, it's kind of like you are not safe with anyone. Everyone is using this situation to either benefit them or to create some type of a chaos. You have to be so alert. In my opinion, there is no such thing as having any security guards, because you just don't know what people have in mind, right? The situation is at its worst. And do I believe that it's the worst that we have seen? No. We still have electricity. We still have power. We still have access to the internet. Do you hear that? What if there comes a time where the country becomes actually non-operational, when the companies are not able to have any gas and we can't have access to the internet and we don't have any electricity? If November does not open up, this is exactly where we're headed moving into December. So imagine that. So now we'll have what? Total darkness. You already know, if you don't know, the afflux of Haitians that are everywhere. And I do believe that I've seen a post, and I've actually shared it on my personal Instagram page, about how the United States were looking for another country to host the Haitian. The United States needs to open its fucking doors to the people that are fleeing to their country, because they are behind the assassination of the president of Haiti. And as such, they have got to come or support the people that can't deal with that. They have created the madness that comes here in Haiti. They are 100% behind the assassination of the president that happened. So they have got to open their doors to the people that are fleeing because of their madness. If we are here today and we can barely breathe, we are suffocating at the hands of the United States government. Primarily. And this is not a topic for other bloggers or whatever the hell that other people do with their social media. But you know what baffles me, guys? What just boils my blood? This shit, every time that I see something like that happen, I can barely tell you the reactions that I want to have. Is when you have people who go to the US. I actually shared it. Please do go on my YouTube page, and I think I've shared one of these things on my community tab. It was, I don't know what the bullshit that they were having. And they love to go to the US to beg to the United States to support them. They like to go to the US to beg. And I'm sitting here, I'm watching this shit, right? and it was already nighttime. And I see this one guy, and he says, oh yeah, we're gonna have to section these guys. We're gonna have to section these guys. Like, Haiti is the first black republic. Why the hell do you go to another country to ask them for the support when you know for a fact that these guys first, they don't give a damn? When are people really going to assume their responsibility? This is part of growing up, assuming your responsibilities, being accountable. Whatever mess that Haiti has going on now, we have got to deal with it internally. Nobody from the external world can do anything for us. We have a changing world. Every country is repositioning themselves. So we are and what the hell do you got people from left and right going and begging the United States to come and support us? What the? I mean, I could say a lot more. I could say a lot more about this, but we're not going to do that. I got shit to do. I just can't believe it. You got people that still today, when are people going to understand that the majority of the situation here in Haiti, it is caused with the support of the United States government, Canada, the Dominican Republic, France, all of them. They are into the madness that we're having here. So why is it that whenever something is going on, we have to go over there to do what exactly? These guys don't care. They don't give a fuck. They don't. They never did. They never will. They took your president out. They put you into this madness that you have every single day. You get up and you hear about somebody that they murdered. And it's not gonna stop. It's gonna get worse. It's gonna get worse because what you have, remember what I said, you already have madness. So you have people who are like, let me just go ahead and take you out because I already see that what you're doing. So you have people who still organize, like, I'm about to just take your ass out because, you know, that's what you have. You have internal shakedown. You have external shakedown with the chaos and the international what they're doing, and you got the internal shakedown. It's not gonna stop. It's not. I'm very sorry to alarm you, but it's just not gonna stop. You're gonna get into the pit, bottom pit. And also, I've said this on my YouTube page a couple of years ago. These guys are not gonna be in power. None of them. So whether they're trying to outdo the next, whether they're trying to gun down the next, let me be sure and tell you that moving into the New World Order, they're going to get done. None of them are going to be here. I guarantee you that. You live by the swords, you're going to have to die by the swords. It's just the way of life. These guys are not going to be part of whatever the new wave. So, I had a few notes because we actually, I've stayed a little longer than I wanted to with Haiti, but I'm gonna brush off to, you know, we're gonna look into different countries and we're gonna, you know, map out Haiti. So let me just go ahead and let me read my notes for you guys, and then once I'm done with the notes, if I have more to say on the subject matters, I will. So let me read my notes for you. So I said 2000, I can read. I said 2023, we have pressure. So we have already entered pressure. So this is what Haiti is going through. So it's total pressure. I said that you have pressure. Oh, I can't see. You will either break or you will fold. That's it. And the majority of the people are breaking. They're breaking because people can't eat. People can't do anything. I mean, seriously, I think it was October. I kind of felt it, you know. October, I kind of felt it, but I kind of like snap out of it. By the end of October, I was like, okay, you need to just kind of like buckle up, because it's not going to get better and people are waiting for you to step forward and do your job. So I said, either turn dark or become a diamond. And that's for all of us here in this country. You either going to completely break, or what's going to happen is that you're going to become your best self, because there's no way around the situation here in Haiti. You either going to break or you're going to become your best self. I said, still no government. I do not envision 2023 with any government. I said, still no government, and none will come through possibly heavy crisis and a head-on with the population, the gang, and the police force. Guys, I've written this. It must have been August. The things that I'm reading for you now, I actually written it in August, and shit started to pop. I was envisioning 2023. I said, still no government, and none will come through possibly heavy crisis and a head-on with the population, the gangs, and the police. This is what we're having now, and I actually put it for 2023. I said, on a global note, we may see major shift in countries. Leadership such as I wrote this, and then the Queen of England died. I cannot believe myself sometimes. Okay, hold on. On a global note, we may see major shift in countries' leadership, such as England no longer ruling via monarchy. And guess who passed away? The Queen of England. Now, hold on, let me finish that. So, I believe Charles is the present king, but between you and I do not believe that Charles is going to be the person who's going to take England into the New World Order. I don't believe so. I don't believe that Charles is going to be present to lead England into the New World Order. I do believe that what is the name of the first son again? Oh my God, not Harry. How can I believe his name? How can I not remember his name? You know, the first son? I do believe that the first son is going to be the person who might be there. But I also, for some reason, I really believe that the monarchy will no longer... William, thank you so much. Thank you, Nikki. Yes, I believe that William will be the person who will be there, like before. But I do not believe, right? I do not believe that England is going to have a monarchy moving into the New World Order. I don't believe so. I believe that the monarchy will no longer be applicable for them. That's what I believe, right? So I said that such as England no longer ruling via monarchy, we definitely may see previous partnership dismantling. I do believe so. I said previous accord no longer applicable. Yes, definitely shift and money flow. This is why I tell some of you guys, don't get caught up with the currency that you have. Do not get caught up with the monies that you have. Because right now, as I'm speaking to you, you have countries that are already teaming up. We discussed BRICS partnership already. No, they don't. They don't want the monarchy. It's not going to be there. So you have the, when you have certain countries that are teaming up and you have certain countries that are discussing like partnership, and they are going to come up with different monetary value. Like I said to you before, the whole banking system and the money here in Haiti is going to be a flop. And I don't know if I wrote down, but somebody, I think it was someone that I was having a conversation with recently, shared something with me. I think I was on Fox. I was watching something on Fox News regarding China owning banks in countries where they loan money. So this is a information that I didn't have access to. So meaning that if Haiti really doesn't understand how to get into this partnership agreement, China will probably own the banks here. So let's continue. I said definitely shift in money flow. On each national flow, I can see major eruptions between people and government entities. So in every country's moving into 2023, 2024, I'm not saying that we're gonna have a quiet world. We're not, because you're gonna have like government that are changing. You're gonna have new rules. You're gonna have new laws, and you know that sometimes citizens, they're not okay with the way things are gonna go. So we may see eruptions coming from different countries. I said that for the United States of America, I definitely see major eruption, especially with present government and their agenda. Let me go back and read that for you. For the United States of America, I definitely see major eruptions, especially with the present government and their agenda. President Trump needs to bring his big guns out, especially if he is thinking of going back into elections. I wrote this before they raid his house, President Trump, and I just said to myself, I cannot believe this. I wrote these things right before everything started to happen. Like I said, and like I discussed with you guys, I think it was in the live that I did on YouTube that I was sharing with you guys, the United States is gonna go into shock. Okay, I'm not so sure if President, Donald Trump is going to run again. But if he has the intention to run, he needs to understand that these people they're not going to stop at anything. They're not. Donald Trump does not have their vision aligned. He does not have their agenda. And bring out your big guns. Understand what you're getting yourself involved with. And I really feel like right now he understands, especially with the way that they raid his house. Donald Trump knows. He knows. He sees it. He sees how much they went. So for him, the people worldwide are rising against the established order of things. Absolutely. Yeah. That's what's going on. So, yep. Now, I said that Putin needs to also watch his move internally. There's always a new, a younger, a fresher guy who wants to define the odds. Now, you guys know that Putin has been in power for the longest of time. But here and there, I also follow a couple of Russian channels, and I love to listen to them. They have a lot of respect for him. They really respect him. The Russian population admires him because he's such a nationalist, right? Putin just loves Russia. I always feel like Vladimir Putin is definitely the same as the Castros. Just these people who will go above in everything, like Russian nationalists. But also, I'm always curious because in the back end, whenever I watch these news from Russia, and I always see some younger guy, because you have to understand Vladimir is older, and you always have the youth, the younger guys who want to come forward. They really, you always have that. So though he is still pretty much loved, I don't know, by his people, to me, I would always tell him, watch your back. Because there's always a young guy. There's always a new guy. There's always a fresh guy who wants to, let you know that they can do the job a little bit better than you. And you just never know. So that's what I wrote for him. I said in Latin America, the same. I believe the same when it comes to countries in Latin America. I said that like-minded individuals need to be aligned. This is what I really believe. I believe that people who are like-minded individuals, this is the time for us to just really be aligned, because there's a lot of partnership that are going. There's a lot of things that are making. So it's time for you, if if you are thinking a certain way, if you are seeing certain things, then you really have to learn how to position yourself, right? And position yourself where you can be in contact with people that share the same vision as you, with people that have the same mindset as you, because you really want to be in alignment as well, right? I said that solidifying ties, relationships, same goes with the Caribbean countries. For Haiti, we have heavy waters and the pressure will definitely be felt. I wrote this probably in August. We are in November. Haiti is already feeling this pressure. I predict a lot of death, especially for those that are already in power or had anything to do with business and politics. I will leave it at that. If you want to know how much some of the things that I've written are happening right now, you can definitely Google Haiti and Google who has died 2 days ago. We will continue to have major crushes, eruptions, insecurities, and most definitely a vacuum. That's what I predict for Haiti. It's going to continue. We're going to have eruptions. We're going to have insecurities. We're going to have crushes, and you're going to have the vacuum. The vacuum meaning the people that are flooding, people that are leaving their house. As the gangs continue to come, as the gangs continue to surround the city, you're going to have people that are leaving. There will be no concrete for Haiti, not until 2025. By 2024, Haiti will begin receiving new partnership, new accord, new business people might consider the market, right? New institution will emerge, new agreement, discussions on new reforms. Haiti's leadership will be based on whoever stood the course, whoever is here, whoever has put in the work. So that's what I'm predicting. I don't predict that Haiti 2023, guys, is gonna be darkness. I think for Haiti, it's just gonna be darkness. It's not gonna get better. The United States is not really going to be able to meddle into Haiti's affair because of what they got going on, right? So they don't really want Haiti to go into election, so Haiti is not gonna go into election. So that means that the gangs are still going to be dancing the dance. They're still going to be ruling. They're still going to be dictating, but they're only doing that because the US doesn't really want to get involved now. They don't have the time. They got Russia. They got so much going on. They can't really focus on Haiti right now, right? So 2023, if the population, if internally they don't find a resolution, which they can't, they don't know what to do. So you have these people that are going, and I'm not so sure how the country is going to be, quite frankly. I do know that we're going to continue to have a vacuum, but I really don't know, because the death toll is already prevalent as I speak to you right now and currently happening, right? So now I said that I put 2024 because the United States will go into election. This is why, for those of you who are watching me and who are over there that are living in the US, the 2024 election is a definite election, because it is the break of dawn for the new world order. Whoever is going to go in power in the US is going to lead the United States into the new world order. And you have, remember what I said, what you already got in the back end. You got in the back end, you have new accords, you have new partnership agreement. And personally, I do believe that Donald Trump is one of the best candidates to lead the United States into the new world order, because he is a fierce businessman. He's a fierce businessman. So for American people who are nationalist American, you should really look into voting for someone who's going to make sure that the U.S. is going to be at the forefront. Because with these guys that I see right now, nah, the United States is going to be at the back end. It's not going to be. You got the UAE that is already there, you know. You got UAE that is already there. You got Russia. You got Putin, who's not playing any fucking games right now. You know how many times Russia has sent stuff for Haiti? Russia has been sending shit for us since the earthquake that happened last year. They stopped. The United States stopped all the effort that Russia has tried to make. The United States stopped it. So we have not been able to receive any support from Russia. So that means to tell you that they're like, shit, we're ready. How do you want things to happen? We're just ready. They're positioning themselves. So it's very, very important. And it's extremely crucial. Extremely crucial to know how to vote when it comes 2024. Because this is a major time. So by 2024, depending on how your election, the election of the United States is going, then Haiti is going to start to have, then that's when they're going to know. So depending on who becomes the president of the United States in 2024, this is when Haiti might see a shift here. Because if it's the Democrat and if it's still them, then they may decide to they definitely will coerce the population. They will try to meddle into Haiti's politics in next election. And I don't know how it's gonna end up, but my little finger tells me that no, it may not go that way. My little finger tell me, but it all's going to what's gonna play a major factor is the election for the U.S. Because you know Haiti has, I've said this to you, Haiti has strong ties with the U.S. They have really toxic, unequal, unfair, but strong ties to the United States. Strong, nevertheless. It's kind of like having a mom. You got a toxic relationship with your mother, but that's still your mom. So that's kind of like the relationship that Haiti has with the U.S. right now. And well, we do have a vacuum. We do have these guys that are dying. That gives ways to new people. But the problem that Haiti is having is the vacuum. Everybody is leaving. Everybody is leaving. In 2023, they're going to continue to leave. But you got to remember that a lot of people leave just to leave because maybe they just, people can't work, people can't eat, but 90% of these Haitians, they still have their eyes on Haiti. So the minute things come down, the minute there's a new wave, these guys are going to come back, right back to Haiti. So now I said, when I talk about new business people considering the market of Haiti, oh my God, if this goes out, I'm going to come back. Okay. I don't know if I've been speaking for a little bit over an hour. So if it's shut down and doesn't let me come back, I'll come right back to close down the live with you guys. So yes, but the new business people that I'm thinking that are going to be here are not going to be like, these are probably going to be investors that are already coming. For example, China, we discussed that, will already come with their people. Now, God forbid that the United States will still be dealing with Haiti. They will also come back with their, they will also be here with their own business people. So the business people that I'm seeing that are considering the market of Haiti by 2024, moving into 2025, these are not going to be business people that don't already have like an understanding of Haiti, an understanding of the market. So these are going to be business people that are also ties into politics. Do you understand what I mean? So, maybe let's say that Haiti gets a break and enter partnership agreement with China and Russia. You're going to have these guys who are already going to come. You're going to have these guys. Okay, am I good now? You said not good. Can you guys hear me? Am I okay? So you're going to have these guys that are really going to come, right? And they're already going to have their business people here. So we're talking about 2024, 2025. You're going to have the back end, right? You're going to have the back end. So I said that, yeah, Haiti's leadership is going to base on whoever is here, whoever stood the course, whoever put in the work. So that means that, it's tricky things that for those of us that want to diffuse the news, because they're literally taking people out by the day. So you just have to be sure that you are safe enough with what you're doing here in the country, that you got to stand your ground, you got to stand your position, and you got to really be willing to go toe to toe with these guys as well if you can. So I said suggestions. Don't get, look at that, I was just saying that. Okay, you said you hear me well. Thank you so much. Suggestion. Don't get caught on the madness. So this is my suggestion. Stay level-headed. Be careful with your choices. So this is my suggestion. Stay level-headed. Don't get caught into the madness. Everyone can and will switch. You cannot be certain of people these days. You cannot be certain of people's conversation. Do not be a part of any stupid groups. Anytime, first of all, I don't talk on the phone. I don't have any friends. I don't talk to anyone. When I have to connect, I just connect online and I do my work and then I stay to myself. People will take their own mothers out. So you have no business discussing whatever you have in mind to any groups. Meaning that, here in Haiti, we use WhatsApp a lot. So, a lot of us, people may do WhatsApp group. Don't get involved into that. If you are one of the people who are usually a part of these groups, take yourself out. And then when I have time, if I have time, I'll give a brief parenthesis, which maybe I shouldn't, on something. Death is here. Greed, money, power. Choose your side wisely. Choices determines actions. 2 steps ahead of their madness. One thing that I need for people to understand, for those of you who may, when it comes to the kidnapping in Haiti, I still believe that kidnapping in Haiti does not happen randomly. So when you hear that someone has been kidnapped, somewhere, somehow, there's been a faux pas. Somewhere, somehow, there's been a faux pas. Maybe that person spoke too loudly. Maybe there's someone out there that wants to get the person. Maybe there's someone who's in on what that person has going on. And they're organizing for that person to be kidnapped, for something to happen. These are dangerous territories. Those of us that are, I'm not so sure, like I said to many people. I know where I stood, how I'm standing in my ground. I know the work that I do. I am a journalist by default, but I know how to maneuver in these waters. I know how to maneuver in these waters. You have to learn how to be 2 steps ahead of your game. I don't want to mention the name of the individuals, but 2 days ago, or was it this morning, or was it yesterday morning? You hear them? Oh, there they start. I was watching an interview. I probably will not have the time to give you this little information, but I've been thinking about something that's been brewing on my mind. And death has a very weird relationship with me. Death. It is in death that I'm able to understand a lot better things, right? So I was really, when I can't understand somebody's death, it bothers me. I like to question people, because we have a saying in Creole, si pa gen maladi, pa ka gen la mort. Meaning, if there's no sickness, then there should be no death. I'm from the old school. I was raised with older people, right? So this is mean to say, if someone is sick, then we can get ready. We know that at any given time, death may come. But in the Haitian culture, we don't really believe in sudden death. We really don't. So when we have sudden death, this is why for my Americanized Haitians or my Haitians that are not really familiarized, I used to be a part of that crowd years and years ago, with I don't want to say ridiculizing the older people, but we always laugh into saying that, Haitian people, death is never normal, but because it's really not. Part of the Haitian culture, we understand death more than a lot of people. And we know that if there is a sickness, then at some point death may come. Or maybe an accident. Even with an accident, we don't believe in sudden accidents as Haitian people. So with that notion, when I have sudden death that are around me, I question it. I don't accept it. When I have sudden death, unexpected death, then I have to ask myself, could it be that that person was sick and I didn't know? Maybe I didn't know because, again, the Haitian culture is very quiet with sickness. A lot of time people may be sick, you don't hear about it until they die. But the close family, they knew. But if the close family says there was no sickness, then why is death here? So with that notion, there was death around. And I got to thinking. And it bothered me. And I said, why is death here? If there's no sickness, si pa gen maladi, pa ka gen la mort. So I was watching an interview of someone, and then I paid attention to the interview. So I watched the interview, and I was listening with other ears. And I understood. As I was listening to the interview. See, guys, I do my work online, but that said, if you ever ran into me in the streets, you would be very shocked at my demeanor. Very unapproachable. I don't smile to people. I don't let people come to me. My energy shifts whenever I'm outside. And this is also when I'm not even here in my country. I know the work that I do. And I don't know when you come to me, what are your intention? The other things that I never do also, I don't discuss, especially now. The other day I was speaking to someone who, I haven't talked to that person in a little while, and I was just greeting the person, and the person wanted to learn more about the situation in Haiti, and I didn't talk about that. I'm not here for that. I'm not a news anchor. There are plenty of people who can tell you about the situation here. They're not myself. I'm not here for that. I don't even discuss the situation of Haiti with the people that I live with. I have my reasons for that. So when you have someone who's very opinionated, and you overhear that person is part of groups. So you have someone, I would say, who's probably in my lane in terms of like opinionated, in terms of like the way they want Haiti to be. But that person, outside of being very opinionated, is a part of different groups. Did you have a conversation in these groups? Did you share a thought that upset the people that were in the group? Was something said in the group that left other people feeling a particular way? These are not times where, even if you're not here in my country, there is a saying in English, and I like that saying. Wendy Williams used to love saying it. It's called kitchen table talk. I love it. Here in my country, people do it. The older people, they do it a lot. It's when they reunite around the kitchen table and it's adult talking. You don't even hear them talk because it's so little. But they're just discussing among themselves what they're thinking. I don't discuss with anyone my thoughts. I don't discuss politics with anyone. I'm 39. I'm no longer a child. I could become a threat for anyone. I don't trust any fucking body. And if worse comes to worse, we're gonna get there. That's the motto that you need to have right now. That's how you should be teaching your children. It's very heavy waters outside. It's dangerous territories for all of us. So with that being said, I can't really speak too much on that last thing. I just kind of wanted to mention it to you guys, because with the sudden death that took place, it left me speechless, but it left me thoughtful. And you guys know that I always like to look at things from different perspectives. In one way or another, I always have my ways to know the truth. Again, as we say in Creole, si pa gen maladie, pa ka gen la mort. Alright guys, thank you so much for being here with me. I enjoyed the room. Do you guys have any questions? I have 3 people that stayed with me. I know it's very, very late. I appreciate you guys. It's always a pleasure for me to come here and do this work. I know that some of us have to stand up and we have to do it. These are very slippery slope. You have to learn how to maneuver. You have to learn how to enter new territories. You have to study your moves. You have to keep to yourself. You have to learn how to read relationships. You have to learn how to position yourself. There's a lot in the back end. So we are here. Let's not forget that I do have an upcoming event that will take place on December 17. The flyer is out, and as the date is approaching, I will definitely come and share more information with you. And I should be here with you guys, God willing, next Wednesday. This time around, what I am going to be doing is I am going to be discussing all things business related to Haiti presently. But it's so funny that I was working on this. So I was working on this, right? And I finished and I left it, and within a couple of days, and I said to myself, this is no longer going to be applicable. So whatever we're going to discuss next week, it's just, I want to put it out just to show you how easy it has always been to do business in Haiti. It's just the fact that these people just never put the information out for people to know. But as you listen to this, please keep into mind that moving into the couple more years, this information is not gonna be it's not gonna be this information. You know, the way that for you to apply for grants in Haiti, for you to do business in Haiti, this is a whole system that's going to like no longer exist, right? But since I work on it, I said, hey, you know what, just put it out there. You never know, people may just down the line, people may just want to compare, you know. Okay, so anything, thank you so much. I have Nikki, I have Miriam, I have Maestro, Benedict, all 3 people who stayed with me. I appreciate you guys. If you guys have any questions, I will take them since it's only the 4 of us. If not, I will bid you good night. May God bless you. May God be with you. Stay safe. Stay to yourself. No talking to people. Just do your own thing. Be in your own lane and just take care of business. Any questions? No? All right, guys. Well, I say good night, and I will see you next week, Wednesday. Don't forget to be on my YouTube. Thank you so much. Thank you, Nikki. I appreciate you. Thank you for being here. Truly appreciate you. Good night, guys. Have a good night. Bye.